All right, welcome. And I had some extra time today. It's Friday. Thank the gods. It's freaking Friday. And wand 3 sandworm sold nicely, so that's good. A big thank you to my friend Holly, who had to have it. Wand 4 is almost ready, actually. I still don't know what to call it yet. Still got some sanding that has to be done with it, but that's not exactly video worthy. But this is, and this is going to be Wand 5. This is deadfall from the Banyan tree up at Turtle Bay. As you can see, I started stripping the bark, and then I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait and show part of the process, because with deadfall, that is part of the process. And now Banyan wood here is pretty it's pretty brittle compared to a lot of the other woods I work with. It does take some extra care. Let me grab one of my wands here. It's made of Banyan. All right, that is this. This is one of my wands. Some of my personal wands that I use. It is made actually from this same tree. It's about 5 years old, and it is one of the few pieces that is not super brittle. I guess super brittle is not really the right word. It is soft. It's not quite as dense, but this piece is pretty damn solid. I doubt I could crack one that size, but once you start getting into some of these other pieces, they can get a little brittle depending on how degraded they were when they fell. So this is one of my personal wands. I've used in many things from the same tree. Yeah, I've carved some others. There's another wand on here where the tip broke, and it broke off like a third of the wand. The wand was useless not too long ago. So one of my failures, I think, was that I posted, what wand was it? Wand 2? Or was it wand 1? I think it was wand 2. But anyway, I'm sweaty as hell, so I want to try to get this bark away because it's going to stick to me. I did have to go out for a little jog earlier because I absolutely need it. Anyways, this is going to be Wand 5, and as you can see here, this is kind of what the deadfall is going to look like. How much bark is on the outside can vary. There are holes in this bark. Does that mean there are holes necessarily in the wood? Yeah, we really won't know until we get it in here. Now these are small pinprick size holes, maybe a little bit larger, so they're probably okay. Anything larger than that, like maybe like this, there might be an insect waiting inside for us, you know, in that one. Maybe this one is one that kind of got healed over a little bit. There is still a small one in there. I think you can kind of see it. I'm sorry if that's a little blurry. I did turn this down to make the ones to cool the GoPro down, and to make it not take, like, you know, an hour to upload a 20-minute video, which is ridiculous. So here we go. So just like we do here, we're gonna check these ends. Looks pretty solid. We don't see a big core in here like I typically see with the Banyan. They have their veins like just go everywhere like humans do, if you will, and it can make it really hard to work around. Now if I do encounter that, I kind of see maybe a little bit of it here, or this could just be a void in the wood itself. I don't know, but I cut these ends. This was a deadfall branch, so there isn't going to be a natural end on here. There typically isn't with the deadfall, because I'm usually, if I select the deadfall, it's going to be a longer one anyways. It's going to be used for several wands, and so there's not really going to be a natural feature. And even here, it looks fairly unremarkable outside of these blemishes here. And so I'm going to try to kind of keep an eye on those. Like this was probably a little twig that broke off at some point. We do have a noticeable hole right here. Maybe it might be termite ridden, but I don't see a tremendous amount of signs from that elsewhere, really. You know, it doesn't look real wormy. Like here's one of the veins, if you will, you can see here, and it kind of runs. You can see it just kind of runs however the hell it will, and that's going to be pretty typical. I did get some stuff today to try though. I stopped at Lowe's. Where the hell did I put the damn thing? I don't know. It's some darker wood filler, actually. You know what? It doesn't matter. I got some darker wood filler, and with the intent that it would, if I encounter something like this, I can just scoop it out and put something in there that's going to be suitable. It's going to be paintable, sandable, and give it some structure and a little bit of, and depending on how much of it there is, it could give it a different character. So I did think about that. So I got some darker stuff. Because if I needed lighter stuff, I might as well just leave this stuff in here, right? So, all right, what's my time? 5 minutes in. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video, really. Because now I'm just going to start stripping the bark off, and that's pretty much all that the rest of this video is going to be. Is just stripping this bark off. Now you can see here I stripped a center out, and so we're looking at several layers. You got the outer layer here, and you got some of the inner layers here. And so I'm going to do my best to try to take these outer layers off, but I mean, what will be will be. And with this, that can be this brittle. I mean, this is super light. This little stick here, right? This is I think this is a lemon eucalyptus potentially. Weighs more than this one does. It's just not that dense. So we do have a blemish here that I'm probably going to try to keep, because that will give some character to the wand itself, right? See what it is. I'll still have to strip some of the stuff out and work it, but so I've got a blemish here, and then I've got some right here, so I don't know how good this area is going to be. So I'm probably going to kind of focus on that a little bit, just to see if I'm not going to lose the wand early, because there's no point in working it if it's going to be lost. And I don't know which end is going to be grabbable. Usually if I want the curve, I want this little curve over here so it points straighter than I do here. So we can see that the majority of this is pretty straight from here to here, and then there's the slight curve here, which really is mostly right here, and that's just about hand width. So I guess we know which orientation we're going to do. But I'm still gonna define the wand by this stuff here, right? Because that is the center feature of the wand, I think, unless we find something really damn cool inside, but we'll see. So, but for right now, we just need to strip this damn bark off, don't we? So I don't want to take too much. You know, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of work. I just sharpen these, so they should work pretty well. Should work pretty fast, generally speaking. I mean, I don't want to just take entire chunks out of this thing, so that's why the chisel is flipped upside down. As you can see, it's doing a pretty good job. There's some features up here that are a little more crusty, I think. All right. Not bad. Okay, here you can see some of those heavy vein area right here. Stuff will just come out with your fingertip, and right here, that's going to affect the workability. So let's just kind of expose the rest of it. And man, that area is just a mess. Yeah, let's see. I mean, some of it will matter because there's more here, right? Because it's just going to get carved off, but you know, it's kind of indicative of you don't really know what you're looking at when you get started with this until you peel the bark off. And since peeling the bark, ooh, see, that just kind of stripped right off. So most of this area looks like it's gonna need to come out. Probably a good thing I bought that wood filler. I haven't used it. I've been resistant to it in the past. I was gonna use epoxy, actually. And then I bought the epoxy and tried a few experiments with it, but I didn't use it enough to get good with it. And I didn't want to waste wands. So because I have to find another wand similar to this to practice on to get the technique down, so I can make sure it's really going to work. Where is it actually suitable and where is it not? How much do I need? Because I'm not going to need a lot. And since I was crushing gemstones up, because I have stuff to do that. I was practicing with quartz, because quartz is a dime a dozen, right? And then I was practicing with some, I put some pink quartz in there for a friend of mine's wand that I did, and they were pleased with it, but I wasn't pleased with it. So, and I didn't really mess with it after that, just because I wasn't really selling wands then, so it was just going to be an expense for what, and I ran out of time here in Hawaii, and then the driftwood kind of dried up. You've seen some of this just flake off, and you know, that's just kind of the way it goes. The stuff's pretty brittle. You gotta be real careful with it. And what was it? Yeah, I was sanding that tip when it broke off. I put a little too much pressure on it and it broke. So even at the end, sorry, it's Friday night, so there's a tasty adult beverage here outside of the camera view, because why not? Work's done. I will be on vacation starting next Saturday. I might get a video in on Friday, but it depends on how much my preparations go. I took the day off, so okay, that doesn't want to. There we go. Okay, we got our 2 points of interest there. It's really nice coloring. It's just too bad this stuff just doesn't stay, because I got to reduce the wand, right? To keep those points as long as we can, really. All right. I'm just gonna run this video until I get all this stuff taken off, then do an initial triage after this, and that'll be the end of this video. So far back here towards the handle area, it's actually a bit thicker. There's more resistance going on, so that's good. See here, you can see the more of it. Yeah, Banyan was just full of it. So it can make working with it a challenge, because sometimes it'll just dig those areas right out, even when you're not quite ready to, and you just want a nice even curve, and then that kind of disrupts the whole curve when you're working the wand. It just takes some extra steps on your end. Okay, let's just go ahead and shave some of this, since we're not intending to keep it, because we just can't. It's going to be gone. Now, I will say that the bark on here comes off just really easily. I mean, that's good. Yeah, you can see it kind of splitting out here. More of that stuff. The bark comes off pretty easy. And we're just being real gentle and slow with this, because it can gouge out in a heartbeat. anywhere where that's, I mean, we're literally just peeling bark off and coming across troves of it, right? So any of those areas can just split out and cause some balance problems with that area of the wand. This is where that knot was, right here. It's not bad. It's gonna be a little point. It's a little discolored, which I actually kind of like. It's unfortunate that it's not larger because it's probably not gonna stay, right? That discoloration. And the discoloration would give it some character. Let's take a look at this. We can remove this part here. All right. I kind of want to take this off, but I'm afraid this thing is only skin deep, if you will, and it's not going to be on the other side of it. But if that's the way it is, then that's just the way it is, and I suppose I might as well just get it over with and take it off to see. And it's mostly just bark there, a little bit of a void there. Okay, not bad. So we do have some nicely colored areas here. I'm going to try to keep those. It's just the real determination is if this area will let me, right? Which area do I need to be more cautious with? Because if I have to be super gentle in this area while making this curve, then it's just gonna go, right? So we'll have to see. But this is actually really concerning right here because let's see if you can see it, but like this whole area right here, all the way up into here, over here, here. See another round of it over here. Over into this area, under the tip. I'm going to have to do the tip first, I think, because this whole area is, it's not quite rotten, but it's going to be, I'm going to have to be kind of gentle because I don't know how deep these are. There could be almost no structure underneath here. In which case, it's a little bit longer and I might be able to save it. Usually they say from the tip of your elbow to your middle finger. And I've left myself some wiggle room here, if you will. I don't have the longest arms, but I don't have the shortest, so it's a decent middle ground. But that area is going to be of a concern. And since, I mean, there's another vein of it right here. There are signs of it right here, here. So I think I'm gonna have to tackle this end of it. And then, even though this is the handle, we usually kind of focus on the handle and then focus on what curves we want. I think here it's really just a preservation thing. How much of this can we preserve to make it functional? Because let me make a mark. Of course, I don't have my damn pencil with me. Oh, do my pencil with me. Yeah, like I'm a mastermind. I totally freaking forgot. So let's just make a mark that we can go to here comfortably, easily, if we have to. And let's just go ahead and make another one. So we can lose that much and it's okay, because when you think about it, people can always put pommels on the end of this thing, which would extend it some, and they could put crystals on the end of this thing, which would extend it some. They could also just say screw it and cut the parts of this off because it's too long for them personally, and that's fine too, because at that point it'll be their wand and not mine. But here we have vein, vein, vein. And this, of course, we have a vein here. And this is already, just doing the bark alone, this is chipped out here, chipped out. So this is going to be chipped out here. This is going to be, I expect to lose this wand. But just because I expect to lose it doesn't mean that I'm gonna just toss the towel in. Remember the sandworm, right? Wand number 3, expected to lose it, expected it to just be worthless. And it turned out really, really well. I have larger doubts here from a structural standpoint rather than this piece of wood is just fighting me the entire way. But there we go. How long is this? It's about the right time, so that's good. So I will, you won't see it, but I will be cleaning this area up. I won't be working on the wand at all. And then next video we're going to come back and I'll be tackling this end, and I'll start with just a general reduction to just give you an idea of what's going on. But we'll go over that when we get there. Because I have to be really cautious with this, and I'm going to sound like a nervous Nelly, which I guess that's not really it's not really a phrase anymore. I've never known a nervous Nelson. I've known a couple of Nelsons, actually, first name Nelsons, and none of them are nervous. But I've never really met a Nelly. Right. All right. Old man's rambling. Let's go ahead and end this video then, and we will pick back up here once it's transferred over to the phone and is being uploaded to YouTube. All right. Happy Friday.